Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a wonderful game. I would say it's a wonderful game that almost everybody could play. It has everything for something, but it's just not true. Well, I would love to say that it's not for everybody, especially for whiners. Some games aren't for everybody. Examples would be like Doom, Ultra Kill, Fallout, Helldivers, or other games. Maybe the person who plays supposedly says, "Oh yeah, I'm a gamer." It's more of a mobile phone gamer who plays Lords and I don't know, something like that, or Raid Shadow Legends. Or he could be also a Nintendo kid. Plays Nintendo games, mostly only Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon. So the point is there's various types of gamers in this area, in this world, but they're not. Those games aren't for everybody. Some like high pace, so you will play something like Doom and Ultra Kill. Some like story-driven games, so you will play something like Fallout New Vegas, or The Last of Us, or Detroit Becomes Human. Others will like multiplayer games with high action, so you will like to play Helldivers, Call of Duty, Six Siege, or sometimes you want to play a creepy game, so you'll play Cry of Fear, or you will play like the game I just played, Clap Clap, or Poppy's Playtime, maybe a bit of what's it called, of Bendy and the Ink Machine, and stuff like that. Point being, there's many games that other people would like to play, but it's just not their cup of tea. So there are some certain games that I play that is not the cup of tea of my peers. I don't know why I said peers. I'm not that fancy, but at the end of the day, it's just something. And just to be clear, this is not like being. I'm not gonna be biased by the game because I love Elden Ring, but I'm not gonna be biased saying this is the best game ever and stuff. But I'm gonna be trying to be brutally honest in my review on Elden Ring, and then like in the end, I'll give my final thoughts and also will say if this game is for some people, not some people. But let's begin. So first things first, we'll get off the pros off the way, out of the way. Uh, the graphics, the graphics of the game are extremely beautiful. I'm playing on medium settings, but even if I played at high settings, the graphics are beautiful. Like even on low settings, they're still so beautiful. They're extremely beautiful, wonderful, and surprisingly, their system requirements aren't that bad. Um, I'm personally rocking a 2060 with a i3 12100F, 16 gigabytes of RAM. But don't let that despair from you. I'm pretty sure you can play with the GTX 1060. It just really all depends from what you have. I'm personally rocking a 2060 with a i3 12100F, 16 gigabytes of RAM. But don't let that despair from you. I'm pretty sure you can play with the GTX 1060. It just really all depends from what you have. But just make sure if you're gonna play this game, do have like somewhat of a beefy computer. It's not like to the point you have to be rich. Just make sure you have the system requirements or just a little bit above that. Anyways, the gameplay. Gameplay is wonderful. I will say that. Gameplay is so wonderful. Everything about it is beautiful. There are some weapons that have a common, just a common fighting style. So there's like a slash block slash. No, not block. But like a slash, and maybe like a two-handed slash. But like almost each one, if it's like a unique weapon, almost some of them are gonna have like a unique slashing animation, or some will have a unique combo to them. Maybe they'll back up, and it's wonderful because you can also combine this with Ashes of War. What are Ashes of War? Ashes of War are things you could add to it, so it could be just a more it's just something to add extra damage, and would like you can infuse it with ice and you like an ice slash, or you do like a jump and slash, or you do like a jump and backflip. Just sort of stuff like that, you know. And it's wonderful, honestly. It's wonderful. Like with the katanas have most of the katanas have like the same slashing animations, but they all have their variants. Um, and yeah, most of them have like different Ashes of War. There's hundreds and hundreds different of Ashes of War, and yeah, it's just really beautiful. I will also say this: the weapons are very unique. They're all so beautiful in their own right. Every weapon has their own beautiful uh, mechanics, and they also have their own beautiful looks at it, like the Moonbile and the Rivers of Blood, as well as the what's that? What's that sword? The trolls. I think it's the troll sword, which it looked pretty basic, but it's still pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, there's also the I forgot what's it called. What's it called? What's it called? Crimson something. And there's also rots, and I forgot. There was like a bunch of them. Blood. I think it's called the blood dagger or something like that. They all have their own like beautiful styles, beautiful just in general, just beautiful looks, and its creativeness. Next up, creativeness is on point. This is almost Elden Ring is almost if you ever played a D&D game, it's almost like that. You have so much creativeness and so much things you could do with. You could be you could be a mage. You can also be like a rogue, be a heavy brute person, an intellectual wizard. There's also you could be like a arcane user, which basically is like using drugs, dragon spells and blood builds. There's just a lot of creativeness in this. You could be using like the weakest weapon and somehow still manage to beat all the bosses. You know, so long as you're really good and you get the right talismans. Also tasselmans. There's a lot and lots of them for each for one gameplay. Some are useless. I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. Some are pretty useless. But it's just a really, in general, really good variety of tasselmans. You usually search up online which ones are good and which ones are not. But you know, there's always to which their own. To which their own. Its difficulty. I would say this is a perk, honestly. Others might say it's not, but its difficulty is a perk. Why? Elden Ring is a Souls-like game, meaning it's like the Souls games, like Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. I think that's up to 3 only. So they're known for their crazy difficulty, and I think it's a good thing. I really think that it's better that they don't have a difficult setting, that the game itself is difficult enough for the player. You know, the player the difficulty is just it's just default. You know, the difficulty is hard on default, and it's good because it's harsh and doesn't hold your hand like other games. There are many other games, I would say, like Doom still holds your hand even if you play on the hardest difficulty, or Ultra Kill if you play on its hardest difficulty, it still holds your hand. But Elden Ring, it literally kicks you in the butt and kicks you out of the house and says, "Okay, go make a difference," which is I like because it's difficulty. It's what it's. I was there for. That's the reason I wanted to download it. I thought it looked cool and everything, but I really, if I'm being honest, one of the only reasons I only got it because I heard that it was one of the most difficult games to come out in 2020, and I'm like, well, it really can't be that difficult, and it was somewhat difficult. I'm not gonna lie, because I know for first class many would recommend the samurai class since it's really diverse, or maybe the prisoners class, or the what's it called, or the knights class, which is like you come right off the bat, you get a sword and pretty good, decent armor. Really, I'm not gonna say pretty good, decent armor. But I personally didn't want to play it easy. You know, I came for that challenge. I came with that hunger of a challenge. So what I did is I played Rich, and Rich I believe is one of the not the most difficult, because really it's not really, most classes don't diverse, but I think it is some semi most difficult class to play with in the beginning. Because you're only given a club, and it has an Ash of War. Yeah, of course. I think every weapon has an Ash of War when you begin, but you only come with a club and no armor. And the thing is that what's it called? Um, well, most come with armor and other things, so you'll resist the hits faster. The wretch is the weakest because you can't um you know you can't resist the hits, man. You can almost get one shot by everything as just as a wretch. I would say though it's one of the more best class because it's just very well diverse. You could all your stats are marked to up to tens. So your arcane faith, health, that's vigor, strength, dexterity, endurance. All of it is on at least um at tens. So that's what's beautiful about the wretch, and that's why I also picked it. It's because there's some things I'm like, oh well, I want to be like, no, maybe I'm gonna want to do this, or maybe I'm gonna want to do that. So yeah, it's a really good thing to start with. If you're looking for a good challenge and you're like, oh, I don't know what to decide, samurais or anything. So you just choose wretch. Trust me on this one. It will be a bit difficult, but it will get better. Now, rewards. Rewards are, oh my gosh, I could keep going on. But rewards are really good. I feel like most of the time in the game, I feel well rewarded on a difficult level, or arena, or maybe just a difficult place to traverse, or a difficult catacomb. Those are the dungeons, by the way. But sometimes it could be really bad, where it's like it'll give you a what's it called? Oh, I forgot what's it called. It's like it gives you runes, which is like the currency and the leveling system in the game, and it's you have to like crush it in your hand, and it'll like have like little sparkles and it'll fly to you. But anyway, sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes it is worth it. But at the end of the day, I say it's more worth doing all those difficult stuff because it can always give you a good Ash of War, maybe a good Ash, or sometimes good weapons, good armor, stuff like that. It's just all in all really good stuff. Um, I would say that like I said, there are some stuff where I feel like it was not worth it. But yeah, the system I put here totally fair system. And I agree with this too. I think Elden Ring has a really, really good fair system in like how much you deal damage and how much the enemy deals damage. Sometimes I think it's a little too forgiving, by the looks of reviews on videos and everything, such as mine right now, because there are some videos I've been seeing where they're like, Elden Ring is good, but I would have ranked it higher in difficulty, they said, if there weren't too many what's it called, too many grace spots or whatever they're called. I forgot. Some grace, too many grace spots, or like resting places. It's just like in Dark Souls where it's like the sword and the campfire. Well, it's like a safe checkpoint almost, where you can fast travel and everything. I kind of agree with that. I really do kind of agree with that. Where it's like, I feel like the difficulty is gone because now you don't traverse around the land. And I also do say that it's quite big. The map is huge. It's actually huge. But I will say they should have put less spots, like less resting spots, because I feel like it would make you admire more the beauty of the map and how everything is well placed and everything is just well detailed. Everything's beautiful. But yeah, I think the system is totally fair. When you're fighting, it's on you. If you lose, that's on you, not the game's fault. If you're saying like, oh my god, this game sucks because you didn't win, well, it's a you problem and you just have to get good. But that's enough of me blabbing around and praising this game. Now let's get with the cons. Alright, cons of this game. Lag. Just like I said in the system requirements, even if I have an RTX 2060 with 16 gigabytes of RAM and and a i3 12100F. And don't let the i3, just because it says i3 12100F, don't let that fool you. This CPU can play. I mean, this thing can handle most games. It really, sometimes it really is all you need. Unless you're doing editing, like heavy editing, then yeah, you'll need like an i7, i5, or sometimes an i9. But the i3 is pretty good. Anyways, the lag is real. I'm not gonna lie. Lag is real in this game. It's really bad sometimes because I'm playing on a mid round. I believe I think didn't record it, but there's certain areas where there's many more. I'm not sure how to explain, but there's a bunch of spells going everywhere, and my game sometimes can't handle it because, oh, not my game, but PC, because it's there's too many like particles and too many I'm not sure to explain, colors and so many beautiful things going around that my PC starts to lag. um but yeah, lag is a problem in Elden Ring. I will say that. I would not. That's one of the downfalls. There's not many cons here, but that's my honest review. I'm really trying to be honest. I would say this. It's a little. Next con is a little hard to know what's next. What's the next step? Because what's with Elden Ring is that it's like you. Sometimes I have to look up tutorials. I know that's bad. It's really bad. But I want to do the Ronnie quest line. It's like the ending of Fallen Stars or something like that. Because I believe, and I looked through I listened to the endings. I haven't really looked at it, but I listened to the endings of people's reviews and everything, and they mostly always choose that one because it always seems to be like the better ending. You know, the shadow is always gonna happen. So I believe that to be the better ending. But I'm pretty close to the Frenzy Flame ending, or the crazy, or whatever it's called, flame ending. But I want to do that ending. I probably would do that ending for challenges and stuff, because it is the most fastest ending you can get, if I'm being honest. So yeah, it's really hard to know what to do next after, you defeated a boss or you defeated this boss, because you kind of have to traverse the land and do quests, and sometimes you skip through the dialogue like I do. I'm guilty of that. I really am guilty of that, where I skip the dialogue and I don't know what to do next. But anyways, hitboxes. Yeah, hitboxes are sometimes really bad. I mean, sometimes you'll be like, that shouldn't hit me, and you're right, that really should have hit you. But the hitboxes are so weird at some points that it just ends up really bad. I will say this also, the performance issue with lag, like I said, it seems to not happen as much with consoles, because they're consoles. You only really have to adjust the settings to that console, and that's about it. But with PCs, since there's so many parts and everything, you have to you have to what's it called? You have to optimize for. I can see why there's some performance issues, even if you have the top of the line PCs. Oh no, I feel like the top of the line PCs just get more not less performance issues, just like consoles, not because of they're more powerful, but because of the newer ones, and they could optimize it to those ones more better, since they're way newer. They have more they don't have to do deep digging because the information is right there for them. But anyways, hitboxes are really bad. I remember this one time, this I think it was a tree sentinel wasn't supposed to really hit me. It was actually I think I recorded but then deleted that one for accident. But I even looked at it, and it was like I was, I think, like 5 in-game feet away from that, and it shouldn't have hit me. But my character still got staggered and fell down to the floor, and then was killed. So yeah, hitboxes are a bit of an annoyance. I will say that it's a bit of an annoyance, and I agree with people who are like, hitboxes are dumb sometimes in this game. I will agree with that. Hitboxes could also be really dumb in this game. Okay. Now, we're heading into the end. What are the type of people who would like to play this game? I would say people who are looking for a challenge, just like me. People who want to play this game would usually look for a challenge, especially when as soon as you beat the game, you get New Game Plus, which is totally free, which is good. Where the game gets more difficult every time you beat the game. I'm pretty sure it only stacks up to 7 though, but it's still really difficult, I heard. What's it called? The It's also like if you played a lot of Dark Souls game, I believe this game is good for you. Or if you played what's the summer game? Sekiro Dies Twice or something like that. I'm sorry if I butchered that game. I haven't really seen that game much. Oh, I'm sorry. I really want to play more Dark Souls games, but I might play that Dark Souls like game also because I also heard that combat there or just the style of combat is beautiful there. So I wouldn't mind being there. Also, uh, people who want to get into Dark Souls like games, I would recommend though first starting out with Dark Souls 3, even though I started off with this one, or starting off with Hollow Knight or Secure Dice Twice or something like that. But I would also recommend this game because you could ease yourself in if you look up tutorials, which I wouldn't recommend, but also would recommend if you're stuck in only if you're really stuck in certain parts like me. I don't do, but don't do tutorials when you're doing bosses. I would say that. Never look at tutorials when you're looking at how to beat this boss, because I believe that that ruins the fun in discovering their patterns and trying to, have this excitement, this rush inside of you, because you're like, oh no, am I gonna die or am I gonna finally make it? He's like one hit away. Am I gonna die or or he's gonna die? Because sometimes I was in that situation where it's like, am I gonna die or he's gonna die? Because I was like one slash away also, and he's one slash away. And so sometimes we just hit each other at the same time, see who wins. And usually it's him or me. It's like a 50-50 chance. So I would say don't look up how to beat it. I think it's dumb. And yeah, if you really need help with somebody else, I would recommend, if you really need help, I would recommend getting one of your friends to help you beat the boss. I have done that before with one of the bosses because I forgot her name. It's like she's a wizard boss and she just floats away all the time. That's why I was having issues, because she will always float away or just stay away from me, which I'm a close combat guy because I use a heavy sword. Anyways, I use a great sword. But yeah, what are not the type of people who would like to play this game? I would say people who don't like a challenge, people who want this to get eased into Elden Ring. I would not recommend you guys playing this game at all if you like to get eased in, because this game doesn't hold your hand, like I said. Even Doom holds your hand a bit, but only a little bit. I would not recommend people who like playing, of course, peaceful games or slow-paced games. But also people who like playing people who like a more story-driven game. Elden Ring is a story-driven, almost like a story-driven game, but you kind of have to look for the lore. You have to look for the lore. You have to go everywhere. Sometimes nothing tells you the story but the environment itself. The environment itself can sometimes lead you to the story itself. And if you're not willing to be patient and to look for the lore, or look for the signs, or talk to all the NPCs and everything, then this isn't really the cup of tea for you, unless you're really like, oh, have to look for the lore, because this doesn't give you like a plate, a silver. It doesn't give you the lore. Elden Ring doesn't give you the lore in a silver plate and says dig in. It tells you work for the food. It literally is that. It's like it tells you work for the food. So I would say if you like lore but you're not willing to look for it, then by all means don't play this game if you don't want to. Just look at a lore video. I think that would do better for you. But my takes could be bad, And okay, we're reaching at the end of this video. So my final thoughts in this video. Okay. Elden Ring is a beautiful game. If I had to rank it, I would give it a 10 out of 10. But if I'm being realistic, if other people play, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10 maybe, but 9 out a solid 9, because this game isn't for everybody. Second, this game is beautifully made. Everything about it is almost near perfect. I did hear that the DLC has some issues and where some performance issues. I hope I heard rumors, not rumors. I heard my friends told me that. Well, some people, I'm not sure if it was friends. Some people telling me that they lowered down the difficulty actually in DLC, which I really detest. Cause now I'm gonna be playing an easy DLC. I want a hardcore, difficulty on a DLC. But if it's not true, then that's good. But if it is true, I'm gonna have to downgrade that DLC patch to the earliest. Just even though if it causes me performance issues, because I heard that that's a big problem, and that it's really barren. There's nothing. There's almost no enemies when you're trying to walk around. So I feel like they should do another patch, and where they add more new enemies in the DLC Elden Ring, Shadow of the Air Tree. I feel like they should add more enemies into it, even if it's just a little like gremlins or anything. So long as they add some enemy, every like 10 feet away from you, it's good enough, I believe. And yeah, I think that's about it for this video. There will be another video coming out, and I will be doing a challenge video. I'm deciding between doing like a what's it called, a daredevil challenge, where it's like I can only use my fists and do all that fancy stuff, or doing a Nightwing challenge where I have to find sticks and everything. Oh, of course, with the daredevil one, I'll try to it'll be like a faith build, because he's Catholic, so the faith build and with the Nightwing build, I'll probably have to look for sticks or something where I could just split them apart or something. If I can, I'll try my hardest. But yeah, I'm debating into those two. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Side. Front flip. No, 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 no. Don't mess us up. Green. Black flip. Yes! Yes! I'm gonna win!